And what's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. So, something interesting happened today. Actually, something interesting happened a couple days ago. Actually, something less interesting happened a couple days ago, which led to something interesting happening today. What the hell am I talking about? I'll just tell you. So a couple days ago, I saw an Andrew Yang video getting interviewed by CBS. Nothing crazy, just a typical, 5-minute interview. But the interview happened to hit on everything Yang was about in short bursts, so to speak. So the interviewer asked him questions. Oh, you're for this. You're for this. Well, what about this? What about this? Sort of bullet pointed down, and Yang responded. And it didn't feel too rushed, but it wasn't a long, drawn-out NPR-esque interview either. Okay? And so today I ended up yanging some people. I was telling people about Andrew Yang. I was talking politics with some people and stuff like that. I actually put them on my channel. And I had to go. Okay? And I couldn't finish the conversation with one of the individuals. And I said, hey, look, watch this, all right? And then once you watch it, reach back out to me. I gave him my card. I gave him my business card. Reach back out to me. And I gave him this interview to watch. And so he watched the interview, I guess, later that day, and he hit me up, and he was yangified. That's a thing. We're making that a thing, yangified. And I said, wow, this is a cool little interview to show people. This is a cool interview if you're trying to yangify people. This is, and I mean, if you're pressed for time or if they need a visual, you can send them to my site. No, seriously, send them. Or you can show them this CBS video that I'm going to play for you in a few minutes. And I think it hits on enough points that some of the typical questions they may have will be answered. And I mean, if they, at the very least, it'll help them dive deeper and follow up more into the person who is Andrew Yang. Now, I'm also doing a social experiment this weekend. Yes, indeed I am. And I'm going to talk to at least 50 people. And I'm not going to tell you what the questions are going to be right now, but it's going to be about Andrew Yang. And I want to see the end result. And this is really for a lot of the people. Look, I try to talk to everybody in my comment section. Agree or disagree, as long as you're respectful. I try to talk back and forth to everybody. And this social experiment I'm going to do at the end of this week will answer some of the questions a lot of you guys have had for me and a lot of the back and forths I've had with some of you. And another thing, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you guys go check out that interview I did with Russell from Grassroots Yang Gang. It was an amazing interview. It's about 45 minutes, so, buckle up, get some popcorn, sit down, and enjoy that interview. The link is in the description above. But I am going to try to interview Yangers at least once a month, if I can do that, if I can fit that into my schedule. And the next person I want to interview is Kagi. I know you know who she is. I believe it's Paget Kagi, and she goes hard for Andrew Yang, very hard, and I want her to be my next interview. So last time I asked you guys to reach out to Russell, and boom, produce results, because there's power in numbers, right? So now I'm asking you guys to reach out to her for me, so her and I can maybe set up an interview, and I can talk to her for a bit. And even delve even deeper into Yang and what she's doing and this election, and just tons of questions. So if you can reach out to her and tell her that I want to interview her, we can make that happen. It happened with Russell, and now he's a pretty good friend of mine. And now I'm asking you guys to do that with her. So I'm going to end this video off with this full interview from CBS. I'll also put the CBS link in the description below in case you want to show somebody the video without having to go to my channel. It's not about me. It's about getting people to know Andrew Yang and getting them yangified. So I'm putting that link in the description if you want to go past my babble and just show them the video straight up. But it is also going to be at the end of this video coming up. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you don't, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. I also have a Venmo and a PayPal link in the description below. If you feel like donating to my channel and helping it grow, every little bit helps. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.
For this run, you were a corporate lawyer, the CEO of a test prep company, and then you founded a program called Venture for America to help aspiring entrepreneurs. Why are you running for president?
I'm running for president to wake people up to the fact that we're going through the greatest economic change in American history, the fourth industrial revolution. It led to Donald Trump being our president. We automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. And now we're doing the same thing to millions of retail jobs, call center jobs, fast food jobs, truck driving jobs, and on through the economy. We need to adjust to that and solve the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place.
Your signature proposal in this race is universal basic income. You call it the Freedom Dividend. It's $1,000 every month for everyone in the U.S. It would cost, Bridgewater Associates says, about $4 trillion. How do you pay for it?
It's a little bit less than that. So the way we pay for it is right now you have Amazon, a $1 trillion tech company, closing 30% of America's stores and malls and paying zero in taxes while doing it. So if we give the American people our tiny, tiny fair share of every Amazon sale, every Google search, every Facebook ad, every robot truck mile, we generate hundreds of billions of dollars in new revenue that would help pay for a dividend. A study just came out that said that our data is now worth more than oil. And how much of that value are we seeing? None of it, while our data gets sold and resold by the tech companies. If we put that value in our hands, we can build a trickle-up economy very, very quickly.
Under this proposal, everyone would get $1,000 a month, from the millionaire to the working mom making $40,000 a year. Does it make more sense to have it as a graduated Freedom Dividend where the mom making $40,000 a year gets more than the millionaire?
There's one state that's had a dividend in place for almost 40 years where everyone in that state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. And that state is Alaska. They fund it with oil money, and everyone gets it from the richest Alaskan to the poorest. In our case, if we give it to everyone, it's going to become universally popular. There's no stigma attached to it. There's no I'm getting it, you're not getting it. It also removes all of the administration and reporting requirement, just like in Alaska, because there's no incentive to underreport your income if everyone's getting it.
But isn't giving Bill Gates an extra $1,000 a month a waste of money?
Well, my plan would get millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars from the Bill Gates of the world. And so if we try and send them $1,000 a month to remind them that they're an American, it's overall a win.
People have been so focused on this idea of the universal basic income, they might not know where you stand on some of the other major issues in 2020. Where do you stand on Medicare for All?
I think we need to move towards a Medicare for All system, but I would not get rid of private insurance. The goal has to be to outcompete private insurers, and I think even if we do everything right, there'll still be a role for private insurance in the market.
You've argued for legalizing marijuana nationally and decriminalizing some drugs. Is that all drugs?
It's decriminalizing addictive opiates, because right now we have a plague in this country. 8 Americans are dying every hour of opiate overdoses. And the goal has to be to try and bring both abuse and overdose rates down. When you look around the world, when they've decriminalized these drugs for personal use, so if you're a dealer, you go to jail. But if you're an addict and we catch you with the drugs, we don't send you to jail, we send you to counseling and treatment. And this brings down both overdose rates and abuse rates over time.
You have no formal foreign policy experience. We're in a time right now, the situation in Syria, North Korea, what's going on with Iran. Americans are tuned into foreign policy at the moment. How do you persuade the voters that you have the experience necessary and that you're prepared to be the commander-in-chief?
Well, first, a lot of the threats we're facing in the 21st century are going to be different than the threats we faced in the last century. So that includes cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, drones, loose nuclear material, climate change, non-state actors. And we need a commander-in-chief that actually understands the challenges of this era. I believe I can help catch us up, because right now our government is decades behind the curve on issues like technology, cybersecurity, AI, and unfortunately even climate change.
You've been open on the campaign trail. I want to get to a personal question here. You have a son with autism. You have 2 young sons. And I want to ask you a question that probably isn't asked very often of male candidates. How do you balance your job as a father and caring for your kids and your wife with the constant travel, the stress of being a candidate for office? How are you balancing that?
Occasionally someone thanks me on the trail for running, and I say thank my wife, because I'm just very, very fortunate to have a super woman as a partner who's been taking on the chin where our boys are concerned. I miss them terribly when I'm on the road. They unfortunately are getting kind of used to my not being around. It's very hard, but we have a lot of family members who've been spending time with our boys, my mom, her mom, cousins. Everyone's been supporting the entire family through this time.
Andrew Yang, thank you so much for speaking with us. We appreciate it.
It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.